Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live Out Loud Wednesday. Tonight's topic, we are discussing what motivates you. Um, I think that during this time of the year, a lot of us seem to be unmotivated. So I think that the topic would be great of us discussing what motivates you. Devin, do you want to go first on what motivates you?
Sure, I can go first. So just doing a little bit of thinking about what motivates me. Of course, my kids, my family, making my parents proud. But then also, I started to think I'm also motivated by helping all these women that we are connected to. That motivates me, being able to help change lives, being able to make a difference, being able to do something with my life, making my life mean something. So that in itself motivates me every day. Of course, waking up and being able to live in some dreams that I've had, that actually came true, um, motivates me. I mean, being a mother, being a homeowner, just being in a good, comfortable place in life. All of that motivates me. So, being alive, don't want to forget that. Just being able to wake up every day. So, um, those are just a few to name.
How about you, Eb?
So what motivates me is being better than I was the day before, um, the week before, the year before. Like I notice about myself when I go through things, hard things, like I come back swinging even harder when I come out of them. Um, I, for example, like last year, like I slayed my goals fitness wise. Like that was what my focus was: fitness, health, graduating. Everything I set my mind to, I typically do. Um, I don't really leave room for nothing to be left on the table. Um, but I definitely will say, like, being better than when I get knocked down, the get up for me always motivates me to be better and to do better. I could say motherhood, being a wife, all that, but I'd much rather spend time talking about where I'm motivated for myself because I couldn't be all those things to them if I wasn't motivating myself. One thing I have been terrible at is I haven't been to the gym consistently since May. One thing about me is I allow circumstances to make me be still sometimes. And like I will just completely lose like interest in the things that matter to me. But I am intermittent fasting. I am, nutrition wise where I need to be. I plan to start back going to the gym December 22nd, kind of like doing a replay of what I did in 2021. Um, I'm motivated by women, seeing women elevate and grow. Hold on, sorry. Seeing people elevate, women elevate and grow and just become the better versions of themselves is amazing to me. I'm motivated by so many different things, but really being the next best version of myself and being able to see somebody start somewhere and then watch them like blossom. So you're like a caterpillar and then you just blossom into like a butterfly. To me, I love seeing that. That's why I'm in leadership for what I do. That's why I've always been in leadership business wise, because I like to see people grow and I like to bring people along and then see them elevate. So that's me. What about you?
I think what motivates me is the ability to know that if I set the bar not too high, that it will be actually achievable. Sometimes when I set the bar a little bit too high, I know that in my heart it's really not achievable and then I get unmotivated. Being around good people is a great motivation for me. Um, Being around people that are unmotivated actually is a spike for me. It makes me more motivated, just because I feel like I am a team leader sometimes, and majority of the time I'm the one that is able to get the group up and running and going. And so I like that about myself. When I'm at work, normally I can get everybody on the page of, we can do this, like, let's get up, let's hit our mark, and let's do what we need to do. I think that the areas that I am unmotivated in is like health wise for myself. I don't know how to be motivated to self care. That is where I struggle in the areas in my life, is with self care. I can be motivated with anything else in life. I can be motivated on making money. I can be motivated on, you know, getting a team up and going. I could be motivated at work. I could be motivated within my family life. But for some weird reason, when it comes down to just myself, I am very unmotivated. When it comes down to like working out and exercising, it has to be a team approach, or I'm just really not even interested in it. I've built a home gym multiple different times and never used anything, and kind of got rid of everything and thought like, oh, if I had all of this equipment, I would just work out. Nope. I've went and got a membership, and if I go by myself, it's just not happening. But if I can get other people to say, yeah, that they'll meet me there, I'm extra motivated and I can do it. Like, it's crazy. I can plan a walk, and as long as I'm walking with someone, I can walk for hours. But if it's just myself, I'm out there for like 10, 15 minutes and I'm coming right back. Like, it's over. It's done. Can't do it. So when it comes down to like my own personal needs, I'm not as motivated as I am in other areas in life when it comes down to other people.
I'm the opposite. I cannot stand working out with people because I feel like they're gonna slow me down or they're gonna take away from what it is that I'm doing. I'm certified as a personal trainer, so when I go in there and I'm trying to help people work out, or if I'm trying to help people exercise, I get really frustrated. That's why I'm not a CPT, because or personal trainer, because when I'm trying to help you and you like want to bring your cousins, friends, and aunties, and I'm trying to focus with you, and this ain't that. Like I can't. I don't like working out with people that I'm standing next to and talking to. I come to the gym and my husband will be at the gym, and I will work out next to him for probably like 20 minutes. But then I'm like, okay, I gotta get away from you. I gotta go do something else because you're not doing what it is that if I look over at him and he's doing something that I think he needs to be doing something else different, I'll get an attitude and I'll just so I don't know. It's weird, but I could not stand working out with people. And I always feel like if I waited on people, then I would never get there. So that's real interesting that you said that, because you actually put a different spin on it for me, and how I guess I could maybe try to go and work out. It might actually be beneficial to work out with somebody once and actually, but I
Well,
don't know.
I think motivation can also stem from like how our upbringing was. Like, you know, I was raised with not only my siblings but all of my cousins, and so I'm used to being in like group activities and group
Me too. Grew up with
um,
all my cousins too. I don't know.
maybe I
But I
don't
was the only
know.
child till I was 11, so maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know.
I was never the only nothing.
Definitely got something to do with it.
Yeah, I was the only child till I was 11. Nobody was touching my toys. My toys.
Hey, Dee Dee.
She said, my kids, God, and breaking generational curses. I just want to give and show my kids things I never had. I love that.
Yes.
My kids used to be a very big motivation for me. Now that the girls are all adults, now I seem to slack in that area. Like, Jaden isn't such a big motivator for me because he's kind of just like to himself. So he's more like Eb. Like, he goes in his room, he can work out on his own. He won't work out with me. He can watch movies on his own. He won't watch them with me. Like, he does everything on his own. He's a lone rider. And I'm like, come on, I need your help. Need your support. Nope.
Crazy. And God gave me this old rah, 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 rah husband. So he always likes to be somewhere. And I just be like, so.
I think it depends on what group activity it is. So I don't know. I'm kind of weird. Like, I don't like to work out, as we know, right? However, if I get to the gym, I can work out and I can stay there for hours and work out. So it's kind of weird. Like, it's about me getting motivated to do it. I'm trying something different for 2024. I'm trying to be a self-motivated starter. I got some workout equipment that is literally 5 feet away from me. So just trying to be a little bit more better with everything that I do, being more on time, being more efficient with things, being more organized. I got a planner coming. Just trying to try something different for this stage in my life. Trying to be a better person, be a better friend, be a better spouse, be a better mother, and be a better business owner and leader. So I think all that plays hand in hand. Like, self-care is, if we don't have self-care and we are trying to work with people, how does that really in turn come out in our work? We can only give what we have. So if we don't have anything for ourselves, how are we able to do things for others? And that's one thing I had to kind of look in the mirror and say, I'm always trying to do this, do this, do this. I need to start feeding myself to be able to have more to give. So just try to be more conscious of that. That motivates me.
It's funny you said that, though. It's because I'm the total opposite when it comes down to that. Like, I'm able to go to work and get replenished of everything that I need. It's when I come home is when I'm getting deplenished of everything. That's when I'm pouring out when I'm home and I'm not getting anything back. But when I go to work, I feel like I am needed, I'm wanted, I'm cared for. Like, I get everything when I go to work. I don't understand it. Like, I've always just been really big on work. I love going to my job. I love doing what I do. And so when I go to work, it's like, this is where I was supposed to be. And it's total opposite of home. When I get home, it's like, that's when I am no longer motivated.
Well, home is supposed to be your sanctuary.
Supposed to.
Supposed to be. That's supposed to be where you take that cloak of armor off and you let that hair down. You take your hair binder out, the heels off, and you just relax.
You take your clothes off.
Recharge.
It's supposed to be. So I wonder how many people in the world are actually like me. Like, when they go home, are they getting deplenished? And when they go out into the world or work, whatever it is that they do outside of home, is that where they're getting filled back up? Like,
I think with kids, people with younger kids, I feel like home is not necessarily your sanctuary because you're always doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. But you are always still supposed to have at least those moments to where you can reset and have, that meditation moment, that time with God, that time to be a woman, sit in the bath, whatever it may be. You're supposed to at least have your time, which you need to figure out when that's going to be from now on.
No, I think that will happen when I get my 2-bedroom, 2-bath. As long as we have this one full bath, it ain't never going to happen.
Yeah, I could not. There's no way I could live right now with one bath.
Girl, it was great when Jaden was like, I don't like water. now that he likes water, nope. I can run that water and I can go get in and be like, and he'd be like, Mom, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm in the tub, like, for real, can you give me like 20 minutes? And every 5 minutes, it's like, all right, I'm getting out. Like, all right, I'll come deal with it. And it's crazy because I could literally be sitting in my room in total silence and he won't come and bother me. The minute I turn on my TV or get on my phone, somebody wants something. It's like, oh yeah, she's here. Like, let me go and find her. Like, nope.
You need a sign on your door. Do not disturb.
I need a closet. I need a big giant walk-in closet.
Uh-huh.
I love mine. You need to also keep in mind that we're motivated by the space that's around us as far as like clutter and cleanliness, and I'm a clean freak. So I make sure my sinks are bleached out every night before I go to bed. Like, I don't like nothing dirty. Like, I hate it. So when my other house started to feel like I had lived there too long and there was too much stuff that didn't have nothing to do with me, it was demotivating for me. So like, I was remotivated by being able to have the things that my things be the way that I want them. And I still haven't completely unpacked everything yet. That's not like me. That tells me that definitely there's some things that have really messed with me this year. But for you come in my house, you'll be like, oh my God, it's extremely clean in there and it's nice in there. And that's how I feel. Like, I feel light and, you know, ready to take on the day based off of that. But again, I had that whole garage in my old house that had all my ex's stuff in there and I wouldn't even go in it. So that tells you a lot about the motivation. I had no motivation. I paid $900, y'all, to have somebody come and clean that garage out.
I remember
That's
that.
how much I paid. Everybody was like, I'll come over and help you, have separate conversations with me. Like, I'll come help you. No, we're not doing that. What we gonna do is never look at it again, because I didn't create that mess down there, and I'm not gonna go deal with that. And I'm going to start over fresh and be motivated by my newfound freshness. And I fell off because a lot fell off. This has been a horrible year for me, but I say that to say, like, intermittent fasting, I was up and down. I've been like a night eater, like over the earlier to middle part of the year. But like, I've been really back on my 4 hour intermittent fasting for the last 6 days. There won't be no deviation because I'm already at the go mode. Like, I know what it takes for me to, my environment, my area needs to be clear for me to get what I need to get done. And and I'm even worse. I have an exercise bike in my bedroom right next to my bed that I got on 3 times since I got it. I got it for my birthday. I'm motivated by leaving this house and going to the gym and doing what I do. And I'm actually motivated by gym posts on Facebook. So when I do go back to the gym, I'm going to start back posting, because people be like, you missed your morning posts at 4 o'clock in the morning. Crazy thing is I be up, but I don't have the desire to jump out of my bed anymore. Can't use the winter as an excuse, because that's not an excuse. I was jumping out of my bed. Last winter was brutal, and I was jumping out of my bed every day last winter going to the gym. So I think it's the clutter and the space that our brain sucks up that makes us, everything around us, it's crazy. I don't know, but I know definitely dirty and messy I can't do, and clutter I can't freaking stand. I get agitated. I get agitated when somebody moves towels around incorrectly in my house. Hate it. I make my bed every morning and I be frustrated because it's not made when I come back home.
Yeah.
I can feel that. I have a little OCD in myself. And
man, it's crazy. I don't know.
I think I would have it if I knew that my kids would actually keep things clean. I think I just came to that conclusion that they'll be gone soon.
You won't. Don't believe the hype.
I be thinking that, like, well,
they still gonna be coming through, like, hey.
Do not believe the hype.
I keep thinking, like, they'll be gone. Then we'll just have the smaller child here, and it is what it is.
I've lived in this house 9 years. And I want to say for the last 5 of those 9 years, it's just been me and Jaden. But simultaneously, each one of my children come back. And that is why I want to move to a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, because I don't want to have any extra space. Like I've been trying
Girl,
to
they don't care. They're gonna be in that bathroom with you.
I've been trying to make this third room my office forever. Like I've gotten rid of everything in here but this bed, and that's only because I don't want anyone sleeping on my couch. Like I think that's just the worst thing ever. Like if I don't sleep on it, why are you going to sleep on it? So I cannot get rid of this bed because I have just that feeling like they're going to keep coming back. But I'm going to get to that 2-bedroom, 2-bath one day, and I'm going to have my own bathroom in my room to where no one can come and bother me.
They still will. That don't change nothing.
Right. That motivates you though.
It's motivating me.
It is a motivator. What motivates y'all about helping other people?
Being able to see the change. I mean, we've come across a lot of women who have been through terrible things that no one should ever experience. And being able to see a woman go from point A to point B and see how much they've grown and the glow up and how much they've healed simply by just being in our presence and being involved in the things that we have. So, I mean, that motivates me just to hear them say, thank you. Ever since I met y'all, my life has changed. I mean, I think it's like, when you hear it, sometimes it doesn't really hit until you actually see it, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like 2023 was a year that we all learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We learned things we're able to do, things we're not able to do. And by working with other people, I feel like everything we did this year taught us what we're able to do for the next year, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what we need to increase doing, and just being available more. So, I mean, that just motivates me, just knowing that the possibilities are endless. God gave us this vision. So I'm motivated by knowing that there's no end to it. You know what I mean? Like there's no end. And I can't wait to see what next year brings, because this year was amazing, and I know next year is going to be phenomenal. So I'm just excited by that.
I think with me, what motivates me in helping other people, women especially, is just to see how another woman can love on a woman and not feel like she's hitting on her or somebody's going to judge her and say anything. Like, I love to go into places where women are loving on each other and where it's okay for me to tell you that you look good and you're beautiful, and you not think, or somebody else thinks like, oh, she's a lesbian. No, that's not the case. Like, we should all be able to tell each other that we're beautiful, and that we look good or we look nice. Another thing that motivates me is just to know that I can represent the kind of friend that I want to be to you, and the kind of friend that I also want for myself. Like, that is very motivating to me, is that I can show up. A lot of people say when they first meet me that their first impression is that I have the resting face syndrome, and it's like, nope, not me. Like, I am a loving, big-hearted woman. Like, I'm usually really happy and go lucky, and so when people first meet me, they're just like, nope, I don't want to deal with her. But I seem to grow on them, and that's like motivation. Like, yep, I'm gonna grow on you like a fungus, and pretty soon we're gonna be besties. Like, you're gonna end up learning to love me. How about you, Eb?
I'm the same with the whole. I can't say that. When people meet me, they typically feel my energy is different. But if you were to just like look at me, you would not think I like you. Apparently, but whatever. We know that's not the truth. I'm one of the biggest hearts out here. For me, I'll give you an example. I saw something in a particular staff person of mine, and I helped them. I helped them and got them to where they needed to be, and I got them promoted. And this was within a month's period. Within just happened this week. The changes in people's behaviors and personalities, after they come in contact with something I've done to help them motivates me, because if I can help one person change in some area or fix something in their life that they may feel is broken, then I can help someone else. It's not just something that I can only do once. Like, I see it being something that I can do constantly and consistently. And so I just want to continue going and continue going. So not only do I help you, but now I want to watch you. And then when I watch you motivate and elevate yourself, and then I watch you pour out and give it to somebody else, that's even bigger for me. Because not only am I doing something, but then what I did for you, you're paying it forward and you're giving it to somebody else. And that feels good to me to be able to see that. And I have been seeing a lot of that lately. Um, it's hard out here. It's really hard out here to not only motivate others but to trust other people enough to even put ourselves in other people's hands to even allow us to be motivated by what another person can show us or teach us to do. It is hard out here. Women don't like each other, and that's just the truth. Like, women don't know how to like each other because they're so busy competing with one another about things that mean absolutely nothing. It's always about a man or something to do with, I don't like her for this particular reason or whatever. And if you sit down and get to know half the people you claim you don't like, you will find that you can get something and learn something from that particular women that you don't even think you would even be able to gain anything from or learn anything from. And you do, and you're motivated by them. And I'm like, it's crazy because the women that are a part of Women Empowered and the women that come in contact with us through Women Empowered, those women are women that we may not even walk the same walks of life, but I learn so much from these women. And I grow so much every day just by jumping on prayer line, being present, being available, having my inbox open, whatever. The women that work for me, same difference. Like, I have the same connection where it's like, you know what? We don't come from the same places. We didn't even walk the same walk, but just that they bring something to my life that I'm like, hey, I need that, or I could use that, or that helps me see something that I need to be doing. And so it's good to be in this realm, in this space that we're in right now with Women Empowered, to help other women grow, and just seeing where it goes and where it takes them, and then where they take it to somebody else. It's like a staircase type thing.
I like that.
I like that too. I think I've never met as many people that didn't know me that loved me without even knowing me, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like the women that we work with Women Empowered, that are in the group, that are on the prayer line, that are in the Monday night support group, and everything that we do, everybody is open arms and wanting to provide feedback or love or support, whatever it may be. And I mean, that just alone motivates me to know that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. I've never seen somebody who encounters us and we're talking about our business and get bad feedback from it. I've never had that happen. Of course, there's going to be people who, don't agree with certain things or whatever, but my point is that when you're doing things based off of a God-given goal and mission, there's no wrong that can come from it. Like, we're not doing anything, for a bad reason. We're not trying to be out here, conniving and being all types. There's so many things that can happen in this world. And I think us as women starting something and actually speaking to say, we actually care, and actually meaning that. I think sometimes people don't believe us until they actually do encounter us and they see, like, they actually do care about me. Like, they really do. Like, we tell them we love them every time we speak to any of them. And it's not us saying that, you know, just because that's any type of branding or anything. Like, that's literally the type of people we are. So I think that motivates me in itself. The four of us are like, we all came together, and it's just like that perfect mesh of love and motivation and you know, guidance that we have. So it's like, I'm just so motivated to see next year. Like, there's so many things that are going to be happening, and um, Nikki's on here. Hey, Nikki. Let me put her comment.
Hello.
But yeah, I mean, just everybody motivates me, and just even knowing that this is gonna become something even more bigger. Um, Not for us, but for the ladies. Like, we're gonna be able to do more and be available more and provide more services. And you know, I feel bad when there are situations where it could be something we handle in-house versus referring people here and there. Like, this is things that I want to be able to do it. Like, if somebody says, hey, I need help with this, this, and this, pull up to our building, we got you. Like, I want it to be that serious to where we take care of the ladies completely. Like, we're not outsourcing anything because it just got to that point. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait till that point. That's what motivates me, to know that we all have that vision.
I like that as well.
Oh, something else I was going to say. I was just going to say something else. Oh, okay. Question would be, if there is someone watching that maybe doesn't feel as motivated on a daily basis, just with life, with work, with kids, they're just not motivated at all. What feedback would you be able to provide to someone who is watching right now or watching this recording later, who says, I'm just not motivated? I love to hear it from y'all, but I just don't have that. What would be your first step for them as far as how can they get motivated? What would you recommend them to do?
First, I would say one thing that I think is helpful is to have a plan. What do you need motivation for? What do you want to be motivated to do? What is it that you're aspiring to do? What are your goals? Get organized with what it is that you want to do and set a game plan in place for yourself to do it. Then, when you set a game plan in place for yourself to do it, focus on the smallest piece of it possible, right? Because if you overwhelm your brain and you try to do it all at once, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're not going to do any of it. You're going to do it for a little bit. You might do it for 1 week. You might do it for 2 weeks. You might even do it for a month. But the reality of it is that when you push yourself too far, to look way too far ahead, especially when you're just starting to get motivated, you'll crash. Mm-hmm. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen to myself. I've seen it happen many, many times over. And you know how many times I've yo-yo weighted with my weight? I've do because I would do that. I would do things and I would crash. Or not even just that, like school. Like, you know, I went, got a whole bachelor's degree, was jumped right back in, tried to get a master's degree wholeheartedly. Didn't take one class, didn't take 2 classes, took a whole full load. And then a whole lot of stuff just started happening. And then I just couldn't do it at that point in time. Does that mean that I'm a failure? No, because I don't want people to think that. But take baby steps. I could have probably took 1 class or 2 classes and not tried to, overdo it. So don't try to overdo what it is you're trying to do, but actually definitely have a plan in place.
And I would say know yourself, or get to know yourself, to know where your weak spots are, and to be able to be more realistic with yourself on what your weak spots are. If you know that you're a person that most likely cannot be motivated to work out by yourself, then explore and see who your supports are. See who can help you be motivated in that area. If it has something to do with, like Eb said, like it all depends on what area are you trying to be motivated in, because there's so many different areas that we can try to be motivated in. One is to get to know yourself and know like where it is that you need to take those baby steps. What are realistic goals for you and what supports you have. Like, I think that all of us need supports at the end of the day. Um, Somebody to be able to hold you accountable. We can all hold ourselves accountable, but it's a little bit better when somebody else is holding us accountable for what it is that we're trying to do.
So what if it is a woman who, and this, I've heard this before. This is a woman who says, I'm just a mom. I don't have anybody. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know how to make a plan. And I don't know who I am because I've just been a mom. What would be your suggestions to that woman? Because I think sometimes us as women, we take on the role as mother, and we go full speed ahead and we want to do it the best that we can. We put it all in, our kids, the love, the support, everything, and we don't give ourselves anything. So then we become just a mom. We have no identity. If there is a lady who is watching right now who feels like that is them, what would you recommend that to them? Because it's hard to say, make a plan, find support, if it is someone indeed who does not have support or doesn't even know who they are to make a plan, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense, but I would start off with giving yourself grace. Being a mom is a lot. And that is a very big role. And anybody that tries to downplay that, to say that, oh, you're just a mom and that's not anything, like, try giving birth and staying up and feeding a child every 3 hours on the dot. You're superwoman at this point. And that is enough grace for anyone. Like, if that's not a line of motivation, I don't know what else is. For everybody to know that, okay, I'm going to wake up every 3 hours and I'm going to make a bottle, or I'm going to feed my child for the next 20 minutes, get probably an hour of sleep, and then do it all over again. And probably working a full-time job and or going to school or taking care of other kids and still having to care for yourself. That is a job. So you are superwoman at this point. And if you don't give yourself grace for that, what can you possibly be motivated for then? That should be motivation enough. I get it that sometimes when you're a mom, you get lost in that because you start to feel lonely, and feel like you're just here by yourself and this is just now who you are, and you start to feel robotish. Get up and start doing something with that baby, with that child. Um, Part of getting to know yourself is to get to know what you can and can't tolerate with your child, how funny you can be, the bond that you can build could be a very amazing thing. At that point, it's not that you need friends or somebody that actually can have a conversation with you. That child is all you need at that moment. To be able to give yourself all of the excitement and grace and loving and caring, to be able to then turn around and love yourself. Like, I don't know, I just think mothers alone speaks volumes.
Well, I think I can combat that. I agree, but I also don't agree with some things you said. So I agree with what you said. Yes, you are a superwoman if you've had children, and but I think women who have kids and that is the only person they're able to speak to, they begin to get lonely, and they do feel as though, what's wrong with me? Um, why don't I have friends? Why don't I have a spouse? Things like that. So I think the biggest thing is find your community. If you don't have a support system, find your support system. If you are, in Minnesota, us ladies, we are going to be having events going forward next year, every month again. We're all here to be able to be a part of that. So don't get stuck in that. I mean, of course, it's amazing. Motherhood is amazing. And I got 3 kids, so I'm not down talking that. But I am saying that you do also, as a mother, need to have your own personal identity. And I think that's where the lines get blurred sometimes, is that women do not know who they are as a woman.
And that's
So,
why you take that time though, is to learn. Like, when you and I had first met, I was lost and I was in that place of I was just nothing but a mom. And I was looking so desperately outside of being a mom. And I had a really good mentor at that shelter. And she told me, Davina, everything that you're searching for out there is all right here in this room with you. And it was like the best advice that I could have ever gotten. And it wasn't about the fact that I wasn't deserving of friends or deserving of a spouse. It was I needed to take that time to actually get to know who I was and where it is that I'm trying to go. And sometimes we're just trying to get out of that space so bad that we're not taking time to get to know who we are and where it is that we're trying to go.
I can agree with that.
So
I can agree. I can agree with that.
I learned so much at that moment. Like, you don't even know the mass growth that I had from that is I no longer wanted to rip and run and be in the streets. And you remember, I used to wake up and leave first thing smoking in the morning, and I didn't come back until curfew. I didn't want any part of the shelter, and I just wanted to be able to live my life. And everything that I thought was in my life was outside of those 4 walls. Which then, when I literally sat down and I started reading with the kids, I realized that I actually enjoy reading.
Mm.
We used to put the kids to sleep and we used to be able to go work out, which then I actually realized that I can make friends and they don't have to be in a certain area.
Mm.
And so I made so many friends there that I didn't even expect. Here I was looking for friends and they were right there. But part of that is I was able to gain myself a routine, give myself grace, and give myself time. Like, I felt like this was all needing to happen today. And it was devastating every day after a day that it wasn't happening. But when I actually slowed down and took the time, I learned so much about myself. I built the relationships with the girls, even though I was like, they're so little, like, I can't have a conversation with them. No, I actually could. And I was able to build relationships with my daughters at that time and other relationships that were actually healthy for me and that I needed.
I
Nikki
agree.
said,
Nikki said that's true because once they get older and move out and we start to feel alone, feel lonely and lost because all I was a mother and every move and thought was for my daughter. Now I have to learn to live for me.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you are doing a great job of it too. And we
You
love you.
are. You got this, girl.
I think that's one thing I love about the group of ladies that we have is that it is a community. We have so many different people in our group where it's like once we actually get to know everyone, because there's so many people we haven't met still, I'm pretty sure that there is someone for everything in our group on its own. Like we have our own, like if we could have our own little city and be like, go there for such and such and go. I feel like we already have that within our group. So I'm just excited to be able to meet more ladies and get to know them.
I can't wait. Like, we need our facility today. That will be a hub and a house for everybody to come and do the meet and greets.
Yep. But like you were saying, how people get disappointed when things don't happen right away. I think everything that is great takes time. And that's why I don't feel anxious or feel like something's not happening when it's supposed to, because I truly do feel that everything happens when it's supposed to. so everything is falling in line, with all of the steps that God is guiding us. So when it does happen, I will be so grateful for it, because it'll open so many doors for not just us, but our community. And I'm gracious for that. So my voice is going out. So that must be a sign.
What do you got, Eb?
I don't. I don't have nothing to say. Y'all said it all.
Oh, Nikki said, I would love to be a healthcare advocate for the ladies in the group, going to appointments, setting up referrals, etc. This is my passion. I think
Okay.
I love that. And yep, we got you down though, Nikki. Now that is gonna be your job. We're gonna hold you to it. I love
thank
that.
you for sharing that too, because I would have never known that.
I love that. And that is going to be needed. So I appreciate you for stepping up and owning that. So we will definitely talk more about that.
I love it.
Yes, I do too. Anything anyone wants to let anybody know? We will be having prayer line at 8, like usual. So if anyone is watching this, and I know some ladies in the group were saying that they don't get the post about prayer line until afterwards. Prayer line is every evening at 8 p.m. So if you are interested in joining us, the link that is in the group that is always posted, that's always going to be the same link, at 8 p.m. And then every morning, Eb will say the times for the morning prayers.
6:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Kids prayer line is 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, and a prayer line again on Sunday at 7:30 Central Time.
Yep, Central Standard Time. And then we have our Monday night ladies group. So I've loved it so far. If you haven't joined us yet for our support group on Monday night, definitely join us. It's something you could just log into it. You don't necessarily have to speak. But if you do speak, it is that time to just be there with like-minded women who want to talk to someone. And then Davina has her line that she has.
The empowered approach.
On what days?
A powered approach is still Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 6 p.m. They can log on there. As soon as they log on, it notifies me, and then I log on. I no longer log on and wait the 20 minutes. I have mine set up for a notification. So if somebody logs on there, then it will notify me that somebody is on there. And so if ever you want to talk, I have now kind of designated that place just as a place still just to go and to be able to vent, talk about any issues that you're having, as well as a space for you to be able to set up a one-on-one.
Yep, and much more to come with the setting up the one-on-ones. Next year, we will have that in place. So any ladies who maybe just need some time to be able to speak to someone, we'll be able to have it where you can set those appointments. Because I know sometimes ladies just aren't available on certain times, so we'll have more of that available come next year. So much more to come. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna wrap this up. We love y'all and can't wait to speak to y'all again. And we will see y'all over at Prayer Line if y'all on Prayer Line tonight. Otherwise, we will see y'all on Monday. Bye.
Bye.
It didn't end. I'm frozen.